Welcome to Switzerland. A land where ice carved the valleys and courage carved history. In 1863, a small committee in Geneva launched a humanitarian idea that changed the world, the Red Cross proof that these mountains don't just shape rivers, they shape destiny. Today, we chase that spirit across glaciers, emerald lakes, and sky-high ridgelines, one breathtaking frame at a time. Switzerland is more than a postcard. It's a symphony of languages, landscapes, and legendary engineering. From mirror-still lakes and 4,000-meter giants to silent car-free villages and trains that pierce the Alps, this journey blends serenity with spectacle. Stay with me as we stitch together the ultimate Swiss experience, smart travel tips, cinematic locations, and timeless culture, without repeating the clichés. Before we dive in, a quick brain teaser to get you in the alpine mood. Which is the largest lake in Switzerland? Tell us your pick in the comments, then see if your guess survives the journey. If you love rare places, crisp storytelling, and practical travel wisdom, tap like to keep this series alive. Subscribe, it's free for you, priceless for us. Comment your next dream country. We build the next film around your ideas. Your one click fuels weeks of research, filming, and editing. Thank you for powering independent travel films. Geography and location. Landlocked in Central Europe, Switzerland is a mosaic of the Alps, the Plateau, and the Jura. Think 1,500-plus lakes, deep glacier valleys, and some of Europe's most dramatic passes within a compact footprint. Culture and traditions. 4 national languages, German, French, Italian, Romansh, create a living cultural patchwork. Seasonal cow parades, alpine folk music, and neat village rituals keep old-world charm vibrantly present. Food and cuisine. Comfort on a plate, fondue, raclette, rousty, silky chocolate, and nutty alpine cheeses. Mountain huts turn simple ingredients into soul food perfect after long ridge walks or lake days. History and heritage. From the 1291 Confederation mythos to Reformation debates and modern neutrality, Switzerland's identity was forged by mountain frontiers and local freedoms. UNESCO old towns, iconic bridges, and fortress-like passes tell the story in stone and timber. Economy and lifestyle. Precision engineering, pharma, finance, and world-class public transport anchor a high quality of life. Clean cities meet wild backcountry commuters switch from trams to trails in minutes. Unique laws and customs. Expect deep respect for quiet hours and meticulous recycling norms. Order is a cultural value. Many hamlets remain car-free, prioritizing safety, silence, and mountain air over traffic. Now that the essentials are on the map, let's step into the landscapes themselves. From cliff-edge viewpoints and blue fire lakes to storybook villages and ice kingdoms. The places that turn Switzerland from a dream into an unforgettable itinerary. Grindelwald. Tucked deep within the Bernese Oberland, Grindelwald feels like a painting brought to life. A valley village wrapped in emerald meadows and guarded by the legendary peaks of Eiger, Mönch, and Jungfrau. As you arrive, the first thing that captures your soul is the contrast. The soft melody of cowbells echoing across fields beneath the sharp, icy summits towering above. In summer, wildflowers blanket the slopes, while crystal-clear lakes mirror the snow-capped ridges in silence. Cable cars and cogwheel trains glide towards scenic lookouts, unveiling views that once inspired painters, poets, and filmmakers alike, from Star Wars to James Bond. In winter, the same pastures transform into a wonderland of ski trails, sledging runs, and glowing wooden chalets that exude warmth against the cold alpine air. Local life in Grindelwald revolves around nature and craftsmanship. Farmers still produce rich alpine cheese, while cozy cafes serve rosti, fondue, and hot chocolate made from local milk. Comfort after a day of adventure. Tourists find both thrill and peace here, whether they're paragliding over glaciers or strolling through the village streets lined with carved timber houses. Grindelwald is more than a destination. It's an emotion shaped by mountains, where every horizon tells a new story and every breeze carries the whisper of the Alps. Kulm. Rising high above Interlaken, Kulm is often called the top of Interlaken, a natural balcony where the whole Bernese Oberland unfolds beneath your eyes. The journey begins with a century-old funicular railway, climbing steeply through dense pine forests in just 10 minutes, offering glimpses of the shimmering Lake Thun and Lake Brienz far below. At 1,322 meters, the summit welcomes visitors with a dramatic glass-floored viewing platform that seems to float over the valley. From here, the mighty trio Eiger, Munch, and Jungfrau stand in perfect alignment, their snow-clad peaks glowing in the golden light of sunset. It's a moment where the silence of the mountains meets the heartbeat of adventure. For those who love to wander, scenic hiking trails weave through wildflower meadows and forest paths, perfect for photography or a peaceful escape from the bustling towns below. In summer, paragliders often sail past the cliffs, painting the sky with color, while winter blankets the slopes in quiet serenity. At the Summit restaurant, travelers savor Swiss classics like cheese fondue and apple strudel, surrounded by panoramic glass walls that make every meal feel like dining in the clouds. Kulm isn't just a viewpoint, it's a breathtaking reminder that in Switzerland, even the sky has a place to rest. Bernina Pass. Winding through the high heart of the Alps, the Bernina Pass is one of Switzerland's most spectacular mountain routes, a place where engineering and nature unite in perfect harmony. At an altitude of 2,328 meters, this historic pass connects the Engadin Valley in Switzerland with Tirano in Italy, tracing a route surrounded by jagged peaks, turquoise lakes, and glistening glaciers. What makes this journey unforgettable is the legendary Bernina Railway, a UNESCO World Heritage marvel that conquers the steep terrain with breathtaking elegance. The highlight is the Brusio spiral viaduct, a remarkable circular bridge of stone arches that allows trains to gain elevation gracefully, looping around itself like a ribbon woven into the landscape. As the red train glides across it, passengers are treated to one of the most cinematic views in the world: mountains, mirrored in alpine lakes, valleys cloaked in mist, and villages that seem frozen in time. Each season paints the Bernina Pass differently. Wildflowers bloom in summer, golden forests blaze in autumn, and snow transforms it into a glittering corridor of ice. Along the way, travelers can stop at cozy mountain inns for polenta, local cheese, or hearty barley soup, enjoying a taste of alpine tradition. The Bernina Pass isn't just a crossing, it's a living symbol of Swiss precision, where human ingenuity meets the timeless rhythm of the mountains. Zurich. At the crossroads of history and innovation, Zurich stands as Switzerland's beating urban heart, a city that gracefully balances medieval charm with futuristic flair. Nestled beside the shimmering Lake Zurich and framed by distant alpine peaks, it welcomes visitors with a skyline where church spires meet sleek glass towers. Walking through the old town, Altstadt, feels like stepping into another era. Narrow cobblestone streets wind past centuries-old guildhouses, fountains, and artisan boutiques. The air carries the scent of fresh Swiss chocolate from boutique chocolatier and the sound of street musicians echoing between ancient walls. Historic landmarks like Grossmünster and Fraumünster, with their world-renowned stained glass by Marc Chagall, tell stories of faith, art, and endurance. Yet just a few blocks away, Zurich's modern pulse takes over. The Bahnhofstrasse, one of the world's most luxurious shopping avenues, buzzes with high-end fashion and global energy. Tech startups thrive alongside centuries-old banks, making Zurich both Switzerland's financial powerhouse and an innovation hub. Cafes by the lake serve Zürcher Geschnetzeltes, tender veal in creamy mushroom sauce, while locals unwind on the promenade, watching sailboats drift across the water. As day turns to night, the city glows with a soft reflection over the lake, embodying everything Switzerland stands for: beauty, balance, and quiet sophistication. Zurich is not just a destination, it's an experience where the past and future walk hand in hand. Lake Limmernsee. Cradled high in the Bernese Alps, Lake Limmernsee is a breathtaking alpine reservoir that feels like a secret only nature intended to keep. Resting at an altitude of about 1,850 meters, it shimmers in vivid turquoise, surrounded by towering limestone cliffs and emerald valleys that seem untouched by time. Originally a natural glacial basin, Limmernsee was expanded by an impressive hydroelectric dam, a masterpiece of Swiss engineering that now powers nearby regions. The contrast between raw, natural beauty and human craftsmanship gives the lake a unique dual identity, part wild wonder, part innovation landmark. Adventurers reach the lake via cable car or by hiking the rugged trails that wind through rocky passes and mountain tunnels. Each turn reveals postcard-worthy vistas, mirror-still waters reflecting jagged peaks, waterfalls cascading down cliffs, and eagles soaring overhead. In summer, hikers and photographers are drawn to its tranquil shores, while in winter, the frozen landscape transforms it into a realm of silence and light. Nearby mountain huts offer hearty alpine meals, creamy roasty, smoked sausages, and hot soup, the perfect reward after a climb. Limmernsee's peaceful atmosphere makes it ideal for reflection, exploration, or simply standing still to absorb the majesty around you. Lake Limmernsee isn't just a destination, it's a revelation of how Switzerland hides its most spectacular treasures, far above the clouds. Frontalpstock. Perched high above the village of Stoos in central Switzerland, Frontalpstock offers one of the most mesmerizing panoramic views in the entire country. At 1,922 meters, it feels as though the world unfolds beneath your feet, with Lake Lucerne's deep blue waters winding gracefully between emerald valleys and jagged alpine peaks glowing on the horizon. The journey to Frontalpstock is an adventure in itself. Travelers ride the Stoos funicular, one of the steepest in the world, followed by a scenic chairlift that glides effortlessly over lush meadows and mountain huts. Each ascent reveals a new layer of beauty, from flower-studded hillsides to misty summits catching the first light of dawn. At the top, the 360-degree viewpoint offers a cinematic sweep of central Switzerland, including Mount Pilatus, Rigi, and even the distant Bernese Alps. Hiking enthusiasts will find a network of trails suited for all levels, winding past grazing cows and wooden chalets that echo the rhythm of traditional alpine life. In winter, the area turns into a snowy playground for skiing, snowshoeing, and cozy mountain dining. After exploring, visitors can unwind at the mountaintop restaurant, where dishes like Alpermagronen, Swiss alpine macaroni, and creamy hot chocolate complete the experience. Frontalpstock isn't just a peak, it's a feeling of standing between earth and sky, where the silence of the Alps speaks louder than words. Walensee Lake. Stretching across the cantons of St. Gallen and Glarus, Walensee Lake is one of Switzerland's most dramatic and photogenic bodies of water, a deep emerald mirror cradled by sheer cliffs that rise more than 1,000 meters above its surface. Often called the gateway to the Alps, it offers a rare blend of raw wilderness and charming lakeside serenity. The drive or train ride along Walensee is breathtaking, with tunnels carved directly through the mountains and sudden openings revealing sparkling waters below. Its shoreline hosts a string of postcard villages, like Wiesen and Quinten, where time seems to move at its own pace. Quinten, reachable only by boat or footpath, enjoys a unique Mediterranean microclimate that allows figs, grapes, and even kiwis to flourish a surprising twist in the heart of the Alps. Adventurers will find plenty to explore: kayaking, swimming, sailing, and cliffside hiking trails that reward every step with spectacular lake views. The Walensee Trail remains a favorite, leading trekkers through vineyards, forests, and breezy ridges high above the waterline. Local restaurants serve freshly caught fish, like egli and felchen, paired with local wines that capture the spirit of the region. Whether admired from a mountain lookout or from a gentle boat ride across its glassy surface, Walensee Lake radiates a quiet majesty where Switzerland's rugged mountains soften into pure tranquility. Rhine Falls. Thundering near the town of Schaffhausen, the Rhine Falls reign as the largest waterfall in Europe, a spectacle of raw power and breathtaking beauty. Spanning an impressive 150 meters in width and plunging 23 meters in height, this natural wonder showcases the untamed force of the Rhine River as it crashes over ancient limestone ledges, sending a fine mist into the air that glitters under the sun. During summer, the falls reach their mightiest flow, more than 600,000 liters of water per second, transforming the landscape into a living symphony of sound, motion, and light. Visitors can get astonishingly close to the roaring cascade via viewing platforms built just above the torrents or by taking a boat ride to the central rock that stands defiantly amidst the rushing water. Surrounding the falls are lush walking paths and scenic picnic spots that allow for quiet reflection away from the thunder below. The nearby Schloss Laufen, a medieval castle perched dramatically above the falls, adds a historical charm, offering exhibitions and panoramic terraces that blend heritage with spectacle. As evening descends, the Rhine Falls are illuminated in vibrant hues, creating a magical atmosphere where nature and light dance together. Whether you're chasing adventure, photography, or serenity, Rhine Falls remind you that Switzerland's beauty doesn't whisper sometimes. It roars. Appenzell. Nestled in northeastern Switzerland, Appenzell is a storybook region where rolling green hills, colorful wooden houses, and echoing cowbells paint the perfect picture of rural alpine life. Divided into two half-cantons, Appenzell Innerrhoden and Appenzell Ausserrhoden, it captures the heart of old Switzerland, where traditions still thrive beneath the shadow of the Alpstein Mountains. Everywhere you look, nature and culture coexist in harmony. Pastures dotted with brown cows and mountain goats lead toward the dramatic cliffs of Sentis, the region's highest peak. Hiking trails wind through flower-laden meadows, and every path seems to hum with the cheerful sound of bells from grazing herds. The village center is a delight: narrow streets lined with intricately painted facades, artisanal cheese shops, and bakeries selling Biberli, a honey almond pastry unique to Appenzell. The local economy revolves around dairy farming, cheese-making, and handcrafts, with every family seeming to hold a piece of this cultural tapestry. The world-famous Appenzeller cheese, aged in mountain caves, is still made using centuries-old recipes passed down through generations. Seasonal festivals bring locals together in traditional costumes, where yodeling, folk music, and flag throwing fill the air with joyful pride. Whether you arrive for the landscapes, the culture, or simply the warmth of its people, Appenzell offers a journey into the living heritage of Switzerland, a place where time slows down and authenticity endures in every smile and mountain breeze. Geneva. Resting gracefully at the southwestern tip of Lake Geneva, this cosmopolitan city is where Swiss sophistication meets international diplomacy. Framed by the Jura Mountains and the distant French Alps, Geneva is a place of shimmering beauty. Its lakeside promenade, mountain horizons, and vibrant energy forming a perfect balance of nature and culture. The city's skyline is defined by the spectacular Jet d'Eau, a soaring water fountain that propels a column of water 140 meters into the air, a symbol of Geneva's ambition and precision. Just beyond, the cobbled lanes of the Old Town reveal centuries of history, from ancient watchmakers' workshops to quiet courtyards that whisper stories of the Reformation. Geneva once shaped world history, serving as the stage for philosophers, reformers, and peace movements that forever changed Europe's intellectual map. Today, it stands as a global hub home to the United Nations, the International Red Cross, and countless humanitarian organizations that embody Switzerland's enduring neutrality and compassion. Cafes along the Rhone River and boutiques on the Rue de Rhône showcase Geneva's refined lifestyle, while luxury watchmakers highlight its world-renowned craftsmanship. End your day at the lakeshore, tasting filets de perche, freshly caught from the water, as the setting sun paints golden streaks across the Alps. Geneva isn't just a city, it's a timeless blend of elegance, influence, and peace, where every moment reflects Switzerland's global heart. Lavaux Vineyard Terraces. Stretching for nearly 30 kilometers along the northern shores of Lake Geneva, the Lavaux Vineyard Terraces form one of the most breathtaking cultural landscapes in Europe. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, this region is a masterpiece of human dedication, 800 years of hand-built terraces cascading down sunlit hillsides, where every vine seems to tell a story of patience and pride. The vineyards date back to the 11th century, when monks first carved the slopes into tiers to harness the lake's reflection and mountain sunlight for perfect grape-growing conditions. Today, those same walls still cradle the region's prized Chasselas grapes, producing crisp, elegant white wines that capture the taste of the Alps and the lake in every sip. Visitors can explore a scenic wine trail that winds through charming villages like Lutry, Épices, and Saint-Saphorin, offering panoramic views of glittering waters below and snow-capped peaks beyond. Small family-run wineries open their cellars to travelers for tastings, sharing both their craft and their hospitality in settings that feel timeless. In autumn, Lavaux transforms into a golden wonderland, as vines blaze in amber and gold, while the cool breeze carries the scent of harvest. Pair a glass of local wine with regional cheese, or perch fillets from Lake Geneva, and you'll understand why this place captures hearts as effortlessly as it grows grapes. Lavaux isn't just a vineyard, it's living art on a mountainside, a harmony of nature, tradition, and the enduring Swiss spirit. Lungern. Tucked within a peaceful valley of the Obwalden Canton, Lungern feels like a secret chapter from a fairy tale where crystal-clear waters, alpine meadows, and postcard-perfect chalets meet under a canopy of majestic peaks. Resting at 750 meters above sea level, this lakeside village wraps around the stunning Lake Lugano, whose turquoise surface mirrors clouds and forests in flawless stillness. Once a natural lake, it now serves as a reservoir, but without losing any of its magic. The surrounding mountains cradle it like a sapphire in stone, and the reflections at sunrise or dusk create scenes that feel almost unreal. In summer, travelers enjoy swimming, kayaking, and picnicking along the tranquil shorelines, while hiking trails lead to panoramic lookouts where every view looks like a painting come alive. The village itself is a charming blend of tradition and simplicity, wooden cottages adorned with flower boxes, locales greeting each other by name, and cafes serving homemade apple pie and hot chocolate by the water's edge. In winter, the valley transforms into a snowy retreat, where snowshoeing and scenic train rides replace lake swims with alpine calm. Lungern's unique balance of accessibility and seclusion makes it a rare Swiss treasure close enough to explore, yet quiet enough to feel untouched. Here, the air feels lighter, the views deeper, and every breath reminds you why Switzerland is a land of timeless wonder. Aletsch Glacier. Flowing majestically through the Bernese Alps, the Aletsch Glacier stands as the largest glacier in all of Europe, a colossal river of ice stretching nearly 23 kilometers from the high peaks of the Aletschhorn down into the valley below. Part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site of the Swiss Alps Jungfrau Aletsch region, it is both a breathtaking natural wonder and a powerful reminder of the Earth's timeless beauty. The glacier's immense expanse of shimmering white and blue ice carves its way between rugged cliffs, offering visitors a glimpse into a frozen world that feels almost otherworldly. From viewpoints like Eggeshorn, Bettmerhorn, and Mooseflue, travelers can witness this awe-inspiring landscape in full, where sunlight glints off endless ridges and crevasses form intricate patterns like veins across the mountains. For adventurers, well-marked hiking trails and guided glacier walks allow for closer exploration, combining thrill with education as experts explain the glacier's history and its role as a key climate indicator. Scientists continue to study its gradual retreat due to global warming, making every visit not only scenic, but deeply meaningful. Nearby alpine villages, such as Bettmeralp and Riederalp, offer cozy lodges and traditional dishes like cheese fondue and barley soup, completing the mountain experience. Standing before Aletsch Glacier, one doesn't just see ice, they feel the heartbeat of the Alps, ancient and enduring, echoing through every gust of cold mountain air. Jungfraujoch. Perched at a staggering 3,454 meters above sea level, Jungfraujoch is a marvel of both nature and human engineering, often called the top of Europe. Nestled between the mighty Eiger and Munch peaks, this high-altitude saddle connects two of Switzerland's most iconic mountains, offering some of the most spectacular panoramic views in the entire Alps. The journey itself is unforgettable. Travelers board the Jungfrau Railway, a century-old masterpiece that tunnels through solid rock to reach the highest railway station in Europe. Each window reveals a new dimension of beauty, from lush meadows and glacier-fed valleys to snow-covered ridges that glisten under the sun. At the summit, visitors step into a world of ice and sky. The Aletsch Glacier stretches endlessly below, while observation decks like the Sphinx Terrace provide a 360-degree view of snow peaks that seem to float above the clouds. Inside, the Ice Palace dazzles with shimmering sculptures carved directly from the glacier's core, a frozen gallery unlike any other. For those craving adventure, snow tubing, skiing, and hiking are available year-round, even in midsummer. Afterward, warm up with Swiss chocolate or fondue at one of the mountaintop cafes, surrounded by breathtaking serenity. Jungfraujoch isn't just a destination, it's a triumph of imagination and endurance, where the soul of Switzerland touches the edge of the heavens. Mürren. Perched dramatically at 1,638 meters on a high plateau above the Lauterbrunnen Valley, Mürren is one of Switzerland's most enchanting alpine villages, a place where time slows, air feels purer, and every view looks like a dream suspended between earth and sky. Completely car-free, Mürren can only be reached by cable car or mountain train, a journey that itself feels like entering another world. Wooden chalets adorned with flowers line narrow paths, their balconies overlooking the mighty trio of Eiger, Munch, and Jungfrau peaks that seem close enough to touch. On clear mornings, the sun rises behind the glaciers, casting golden light across the valley and transforming the landscape into a living painting. Hiking trails lead through lush meadows and quiet forests, offering breathtaking viewpoints at every turn, while in winter, Mürren transforms into a skier's paradise with slopes that blend thrill and tranquility. Despite its small size, the village has a lively cultural rhythm. Locals still celebrate traditional festivals, folk dances, and alpine music that echo through the evening air. Cafes and inns serve comforting dishes like Elpler Magronen, Swiss alpine macaroni, and homemade pastries, the perfect companions to a steaming cup of hot chocolate after a mountain walk. Mürren's charm lies in its purity: no traffic, no noise, just the whisper of wind and the sound of distant cowbells. It's not just a village. Mürren is Switzerland's soul in its purest form: peaceful, powerful, and forever unforgettable. Schilthorn. Towering at 2,970 meters, Schilthorn commands one of the most cinematic panoramas in the Swiss Alps, an endless sweep of snow-dusted peaks stretching from Mont Blanc to the Eiger, Munch, and Jungfrau. Accessible via a breathtaking cable car ride from Mürren, the ascent itself is an experience of wonder, gliding above waterfalls, glaciers, and green valleys that seem to vanish into the clouds. Schilthorn became world famous after starring in the 1969 James Bond film On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and its iconic revolving restaurant, Piz Gloria, still pays homage to that legacy. As the restaurant slowly turns, diners enjoy 360-degree alpine views while savoring Swiss classics like Rusty, cheese fondue, and warm chocolate desserts, a feast for both the eyes and the soul. Beyond the Bond connection, Schilthorn captivates with pure alpine grandeur. The Skyline Walk offers glass-bottom views over dizzying drops, while the Thrill Walk clings to the cliffside, a test of courage that rewards with unmatched photo moments. In winter, the area becomes a serene white kingdom, drawing skiers to its powdery slopes and panoramic trails. Whether you're a film fan, a mountaineer, or simply a dreamer chasing horizons, Schilthorn delivers Switzerland at its most breathtaking, where adrenaline meets elegance, and every view feels larger than life. Zermatt. Tucked deep within the Valais Alps, Zermatt stands as one of Switzerland's most iconic mountain destinations, a car-free haven where rustic charm meets high-altitude adventure. At its heart towers the legendary Matterhorn, the pyramid-shaped peak so striking it inspired the design of the Toblerone chocolate logo. Arriving in Zermatt feels like stepping into a storybook world. Electric shuttles glide quietly through cobblestone streets lined with timber chalets, boutique shops, and cozy cafes serving steaming mugs of Swiss hot chocolate. The village thrives year-round in winter. It transforms into a premier ski paradise with over 360 kilometers of slopes, while summer unveils hiking trails, alpine lakes, and wildflower meadows bursting with color. The Gorner Grat Railway, one of Europe's highest cogwheel trains, offers breathtaking rides to panoramic viewpoints where glaciers and peaks stretch endlessly into the sky. Zermatt also embraces its heritage with the Matterhorn Museum, which tells the gripping tale of early mountaineers who first conquered the summit in 1865, a story of courage, triumph, and tragedy. Local restaurants highlight Valaisanne specialties like raclette, rosti, and mountain cheeses paired with fine Swiss wines. As dusk falls, the Matterhorn glows crimson in the fading light, a moment so surreal it silences even the busiest traveler. Zermatt isn't just a resort. It's a feeling where every cobblestone, every gust of alpine air, and every glance at the Matterhorn reminds you why Switzerland defines perfection in nature. Matterhorn. Rising boldly at 4,478 meters, 14,692 feet. The Matterhorn is not just a mountain, it's a symbol carved into the very soul of Switzerland. Its near-perfect pyramid shape dominates the skyline above Zermatt, catching the light in ways that make it look alive. Golden at sunrise, fiery red at sunset, and silver under the moon. Known as one of the most photographed peaks in the world, the Matterhorn's beauty hides a fierce reputation. For centuries, it was considered unconquerable until 1865, when Edward Whymper led the first successful ascent. That victory ended in tragedy when 4 climbers fell to their deaths on the descent, forever engraving the mountain's legacy with both triumph and sorrow. Today, the Matterhorn remains a magnet for adventurers, drawing experienced mountaineers from across the globe. Yet, you don't have to climb it to feel its power. Take the Gornergrat Railway or the Klein Matterhorn cable car for views that seem to stretch into eternity. On clear days, the panorama includes 38 peaks over 4,000 meters and glaciers glinting like rivers of glass. Down in Zermatt, the Matterhorn Museum brings the mountain's story to life through artifacts, gear, and gripping tales of courage and obsession. Locals still celebrate its spirit through art, festivals, and chocolate. Yes, the famous Toblerone bar carries its silhouette proudly. Majestic, mysterious, and unforgettable, the Matterhorn isn't just a summit. It's the beating heart of the Swiss Alps, where nature and legend stand side by side. St. Moritz. Cradled high in the Engadin Valley, St. Moritz has long been the crown jewel of alpine elegance, a glittering blend of natural beauty, sporting history, and sophisticated charm. At 1,856 meters, this sun-kissed resort town enjoys over 300 days of sunshine a year. Its pristine air and dazzling scenery making it feel like Switzerland's very own balcony to the sky. Once a modest mountain village, St. Moritz transformed into a world-famous destination after hosting the Winter Olympics in 1928 and 1948, pioneering the very idea of winter tourism. Even today, its frozen lake becomes a playground for snow polo, cricket, and horse racing, traditions that turn ice into celebration. Skiers and snowboarders carve down 350 kilometers of immaculate slopes, while summer adventurers trade skis for hiking boots and mountain bikes to explore glaciers, waterfalls, and mirror-clear lakes. The Muatas Muragal funicular and the Diavoletza cable car lift travelers to astonishing viewpoints that reveal the vast canvas of the Engadin Alps in every direction. Beyond the slopes, luxury thrives designer boutiques, art galleries, and grand hotels like Badrit's Palace set the tone of timeless refinement. Cafes serve Engadin nut tart and rich hot chocolate, blending mountain comfort with cosmopolitan taste. Yet beneath the glamour beats an authentic alpine soul, crisp mountain air, ringing cowbells in distant pastures, and sunsets that paint the peaks in rose gold light. St. Moritz is more than a resort. It's where adventure meets artistry, and every moment feels touched by the magic of the High Alps. Thun. Nestled at the northern tip of Lake Thun, this charming Swiss town blends medieval grace with alpine vitality, serving as the perfect bridge between culture and nature. Framed by the snow-capped Bernese Alps, Thun enchants visitors with its lakeside tranquility, riverside cafes, and cobbled streets that hum softly with history. The heart of Thun is crowned by the Thun Castle, Schloss Thun, a 12th century fortress perched above the old town, its white towers watching over red rooftops and the shimmering Aare River below. Inside, the castle's museum showcases medieval armor, local crafts, and royal artifacts that trace the town's centuries-old legacy. Down by the water, covered wooden bridges, boutique shops, and flower-lined promenades create a picture-perfect atmosphere. Locals gather in riverside squares to enjoy open-air markets and sip coffee, while boats glide lazily across the turquoise lake. From here, ferries and cruises offer unforgettable journeys toward Interlaken, surrounded by soaring peaks and emerald forests. Adventure seekers find Thun equally thrilling with sailing, kayaking, and windsurfing on the lake during summer, and easy access to ski resorts in winter. The nearby Niederhorn and Stockhorn peaks offer cable car rides to panoramic viewpoints where Switzerland's alpine grandeur stretches endlessly. Culinary delights reflect the region's warmth. Creamy cheese fondue, fresh lake fish, and homemade pastries fill local menus with comfort and flavor. Thun may be modest in size, but its beauty and energy make it an unforgettable gem, the true gateway to the Alps, where Swiss tradition flows gracefully into modern adventure. Interlaken. Cradled between Lake Thun and Lake Brienz, Interlaken is a place where serenity meets adrenaline, a legendary resort town that captures the very essence of the Swiss Alps. Its name literally means between the lakes, and from every corner, you're surrounded by water so blue it seems unreal, and mountains so tall they feel within reach. Once a quiet monastery settlement, Interlaken rose to fame in the 19th century as one of Europe's premier travel destinations. Today, it remains the heartbeat of Swiss tourism, an ideal base to explore the Jungfrau region, with the iconic peaks of Eiger, Mönch, and Jungfrau painting the horizon. Here, adventure truly has no limits. Summer invites travelers to paraglide from mountaintops, kayak across crystal lakes, or trek along panoramic trails that reveal a new postcard view with every step. In winter, Interlaken transforms into a snowy playground, a hub for skiing, snowshoeing, and ice climbing, while its cozy cafes offer the perfect refuge with rich hot chocolate or creamy rusty. The town itself hums with energy, yet keeps its timeless charm. Flower-lined streets lead to traditional wooden chalets, boutique shops, and scenic train stations, where every route promises another adventure to Grindelwald, Lauterbrunnen, or the top of Europe at Jungfraujoch. As the sun sets behind the peaks, the lakes glow in shades of gold and blue, reflecting the magic that makes this place unforgettable. Interlaken isn't just a destination, it's the beating heart of Swiss travel, where every moment feels like the beginning of a story worth telling forever. Lucerne. Resting at the foot of the Swiss Alps and along the tranquil shores of Lake Lucerne, Lucerne embodies everything that makes Switzerland unforgettable: natural beauty, history, art, and timeless charm. With its cobblestone lanes, covered bridges, and lakeside promenades framed by snow-capped peaks, the city feels like a living postcard that never fades with time. The jewel of the Old Town is the Chapel Bridge, Kapellbrücke, a 14th century wooden bridge adorned with painted panels that narrate Lucerne's medieval stories. Nearby stands the Water Tower, once part of the city's defenses, and now one of Switzerland's most photographed landmarks. A stroll through the Old Town, Altstadt, reveals colorful frescoed facades, boutique shops, and the gentle murmur of fountains in flower-filled squares. Lucerne's connection to the arts runs deep from classical concerts at the Kultur- und Kongresszentrum, KKL, to the moving lion monument carved into stone to honor Swiss soldiers of the past. Its spirit is both reflective and vibrant, echoing centuries of cultural pride. Beyond the city, adventure awaits in every direction. Hop aboard a paddle steamer to explore the lake, or ascend nearby Mount Pilatus and Mount Rigi for breathtaking panoramic views that stretch far across the Alps. Local restaurants serve comforting favorites like Lucernaire Chugolipastete, puff pastry filled with veal and mushrooms, alongside warm hospitality that defines Swiss culture. Whether admired under morning mist or sunset glow, Lucerne captures the heart of every traveler, a perfect harmony of lake, mountain, and legend, standing as Switzerland's most poetic city. Bern. Cradled along the graceful bends of the Aare River, Bern is a city where medieval elegance and modern life coexist in perfect rhythm. As Switzerland's capital, it's not a place of skyscrapers or noise, but of stone arcades, clock towers, and riverside calm that make it one of Europe's most livable cities. Founded in the 12th century, Bern's Old Town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, its cobbled streets and sandstone buildings telling stories of centuries past. At the heart of it all stands the Zittglocke, a 15th century astronomical clock whose mechanical figures have enchanted onlookers for generations. Nearby, the Federal Palace, Bundeshaus, stands proudly the seat of Swiss democracy, where decisions are made in quiet confidence rather than grandeur. Walk beneath the 6 kilometers of arcades, among Europe's longest covered promenades, where boutique stores, bookshops, and cozy cafes thrive under arches that have sheltered travelers for 800 years. Cross the Newdeg Bridge and gaze down at the turquoise Aare, curving like a ribbon through the city, a favorite swimming spot for locals on warm summer days. Bern's cultural pulse beats through its museums, art galleries, and seasonal markets, while nearby hills and forests keep nature just minutes away. Cafes serve rich Bernese roasti and Swiss chocolate truffles, blending comfort with class. As dusk settles, the city glows in warm amber light. Church bells echo softly, and the scent of rain on stone lingers in the air. Bern isn't just Switzerland's political heart, it's its poetic soul, timeless, balanced, and endlessly beautiful. Wengen. Perched high above the Lauterbrunnen Valley, at an elevation of 1,274 meters, Wengen is the picture of Swiss perfection, a village untouched by modern chaos, where the rhythm of life follows the heartbeat of the mountains. Accessible only by train or cable car, its car-free charm ensures the crisp alpine air stays pure, carrying nothing but the gentle echo of cowbells and laughter drifting from cozy chalets. The view from Wengen is nothing short of breathtaking. Across the valley rise the snow-draped titans of the Eger, Monk, and Jungfrau, their towering presence dominating every horizon. In summer, rolling meadows burst into color with wildflowers, while in winter, the village becomes a fairy tale of snow hosting the world-famous Lauberhorn ski race, one of the most thrilling downhill events on the planet. Hiking and nature trails weave through forested paths, past wooden huts serving homemade cheese fondue, apple strudel, and creamy hot chocolate. Every step feels cinematic, whether you're overlooking waterfalls cascading from 1,000-meter cliffs or watching the valley glow under the sunset's last light. Despite its small size, Wengen holds a deep sense of community and tradition. Festivals, folk music, and local crafts keep its heritage alive, making visitors feel less like tourists and more like guests in a living storybook. Wengen isn't just a destination. It's an experience of peace and timeless beauty, where the Alps stand still, and every breath feels like a moment borrowed from paradise. Lake Geneva. Nestled above the village of Kandersteg in the Bernese Oberland, Lake Geneva is one of Switzerland's most stunning alpine treasures, a glacial lake of shimmering turquoise surrounded by cliffs that rise like cathedral walls into the sky. Resting at 1,578 meters, it feels both hidden and infinite, a place where nature speaks in silence and every reflection on the water tells a story. The lake can be reached by a scenic gondola ride, followed by a short hike through pine forests and open meadows alive with wildflowers in summer. Each turn reveals postcard-worthy views, jagged peaks, waterfalls cascading down rocky faces, and grazing cows adding a touch of Swiss serenity to the landscape. In summer, visitors swim in its crystal waters, paddle across by rowboat, or picnic by the shore as eagles soar above the alpine skyline. Hiking trails like the Panorama Trail lead to breathtaking vantage points that showcase Oeschinensee's full majesty, especially at sunrise when the mountains blush with gold. During winter, the lake freezes into a natural ice rink, offering a magical setting for ice skating and snowshoeing beneath the silent peaks. Local mountain huts serve hearty alpine dishes, warm rusty, melted cheese specialties, and homemade desserts, the perfect reward after a day of adventure. Whether you come for stillness, scenery, or soul-stirring beauty, Lake Oeschinensee delivers an experience beyond imagination, a place where Switzerland's purest colors are painted by nature itself. Kuripo. Hidden deep within the Verzasca Valley of the Italian-speaking canton of Ticino, Kuripo is a living postcard from the past, a cluster of stone houses clinging to the mountainside, surrounded by chestnut forests and emerald rivers. With fewer than a dozen residents, it proudly holds the title of Switzerland's smallest municipality, yet its charm feels larger than life. The village's architecture is its soul. Tiny granite homes with slate rooftops, narrow cobblestone alleys, and rustic stairways form a maze that seems frozen in the 18th century. Each house tells a story of shepherds, artisans, and families who once lived off the valley's quiet rhythms, far removed from the rush of modern life. Kuripo has been lovingly preserved as part of the Swiss Heritage Sites inventory, ensuring that its authenticity endures. Walking through it feels like stepping into an open-air museum, but one still alive with the warmth of local traditions. You'll hear Italian dialects, smell fresh bread from a family kitchen, and find old fountains still flowing with mountain spring water. Hikers can follow scenic trails along the Verzasca River, famous for its crystal pools and ancient stone bridges, while photographers and nature lovers marvel at the harmony between human craftsmanship and wilderness. Local trattorias nearby serve Ticino's specialties like polenta, minestrone, and creamy risotto, each bite capturing the essence of this sunlit region. In its peaceful isolation, Caripo offers something rare, a glimpse of timeless Switzerland, untouched, unhurried, and utterly unforgettable. Foroglio. Tucked within the Bavena Valley of Ticino, southern Switzerland, Foroglio is one of those rare places that feels untouched by time, a hidden gem where nature and heritage blend into pure poetry. The village is famed for its 80-meter waterfall, a thunderous cascade that tumbles dramatically behind centuries-old stone houses, creating one of the most breathtaking sights in the entire region. Built in the traditional Ticinese style, Foroglio's rustic granite homes and slate roofs seem carved directly from the mountain itself. Winding cobblestone lanes, moss-covered walls, and tiny arched bridges make it a paradise for photographers and dreamers alike. As you wander through its narrow alleys, the constant sound of rushing water fills the air, harmonizing perfectly with the gentle ringing of distant cowbells. This secluded hamlet has only a handful of residents year-round, preserving its peaceful, authentic charm. In spring and summer, wildflowers bloom around the village, and hikers explore scenic trails that lead deep into the Bavena Valley, a land without power lines, where traditional life endures off the grid. Visitors can enjoy a meal at the local grotto, where stone terraces overlook the waterfall and plates of polenta with melted cheese, local sausage, or wild mushroom risotto celebrate Ticino's mountain flavors. As evening falls, golden light spills over the cliffs, and Foroglio feels suspended between earth and heaven, a place where every drop of water tells a story and every moment feels eternal. Foroglio isn't just a destination, it's a living painting. a reminder that in Switzerland's quiet corners, beauty flows as naturally as the waterfall itself. Morcote. Gracefully draped along the shores of Lake Lugano in the canton of Ticino, Morcote is often called the most beautiful village in Switzerland, and one visit is enough to understand why. Once a humble fishing settlement, it now stands as a masterpiece of Mediterranean charm, where colorful arcades, palm-lined terraces, and centuries-old stone stairways rise gently from the lake into the hills above. Strolling through Morcote's narrow lanes feels like stepping into a timeless postcard. Elegant Renaissance and Baroque buildings, adorned with flowered balconies, line the waterfront, while small cafes serve cappuccinos and Tysonese pastries overlooking the shimmering lake. Every corner hides a piece of history, from ancient fountains to frescoed walls that tell stories of trade and tradition. Climbing the 400 stone steps from the lakeshore leads to the crown of the village, the Church of Santa Maria del Sasso, an architectural jewel built in the 15th century, perched high above with panoramic views that sweep across Lake Lugano and into Italy. Nearby, the Scherer Park unfolds like a dream, a lush, terraced garden filled with exotic plants, sculptures, and Mediterranean pavilions, offering visitors a world of calm and beauty. Locals take pride in preserving Morcote's peaceful rhythm. You'll still see fishermen mending nets, artists painting lakeside views, and families gathering for meals of polenta, risotto, and freshly caught perch. As sunset bathes the facades in golden light, Morcote glows like a jewel, a place where elegance meets serenity, and where every ripple on the water seems to whisper the story of Switzerland's southern soul. From glittering lakes to towering glaciers, from peaceful car-free villages to vibrant cities that hum with life. Switzerland is a land where every moment feels handcrafted by nature itself. It's a country that invites you not just to see, but to feel the quiet hum of waterfalls. The crisp air of high mountain passes, and the warmth of wooden chalets glowing under the stars. Every destination here, whether it's Zermatt, Lucerne, Geneva, or a tiny hidden gem like Caripo, carries its own heartbeat, its own story, and a promise of unforgettable discovery. The Alps are not just mountains, they are memories waiting to be made. The lakes are not just reflections, they are mirrors to a beauty that feels eternal. So, if this journey through Switzerland has stirred your wanderlust, like this video to show your love for breathtaking places. Subscribe to our channel, it's free for you, but fuels our passion to bring you more adventures from around the world. And don't forget to comment below. Tell us which Swiss destination stole your heart, or where you'd love us to explore next. Your support helps keep this journey alive. Every click, every comment, every share makes it possible for us to continue discovering the wonders of our planet. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep exploring, because the world is vast, beautiful, and waiting for you.